Time to wake up. It's Saturday morning. Find some milk and cereal. Grab a bowl and spoon. No, a bigger spoon. Head to the living room and take a seat on the floor. While Joseph and Chris present to you Saturday Morning Cartoon!
Hello everybody, welcome to Cartoon Boom! This is a show where we wake up with the Saturday morning sun, pops on the floor, the big bowl of sugar is here, and we'll check your favorite cartoons, both old and new. I'm Joseph.
And Did you see that gunshot? I'm Chris. 00 Chris. I don't know what songs I was doing. I was combining a few things, but I just did it.
Famous James Bond quote. Did you see that gunshot?
Yeah, shaken, not stirred. That's what he says when he's done, after he shoots somebody.
I really hope our title character gets milkshakes that are stirred, not shaken or something, just for some kind of additional nod.
I doubt it. I really doubt it.
That'd be so clever, though. And this show is known for... Oh, wait. Never mind.
No.
So this morning, in case you hadn't guessed, we watched James Bond Jr.
Did you see that gunshot?
You see that gunshot?
That's my thing now.
So who suggested this to us?
This was suggested by David Bond. David Bond.
Oh,
via
that's right.
Facebook.
That's right.
Yeah. This came from the bottom of the list. I see why now. So I don't think you guys goofed us on this one.
I thought I remembered you saying you had fond memories of this.
Oh, I thought I remembered having fond memories of it.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
So the show, James Bond Jr., aired from 1991 and 1992, based on, obviously, James Bond by Ian Fleming, created by Michael G. Wilson, Andy Hayward, and Robbie London, developed by Jack Mendelson, Mark Jones, Bryce Malek, and Jeffrey Scott, produced by Mac B, United Artists, Murakami Wolf Swinson.
Wow.
I think United Artists I know of. The rest, no.
Was that one name? Murakami Wolf Swinson is one name?
Well, yeah.
Wow. That is the name, man. Woo.
Murakami-Wolf-Swinson.
Man,
It's just all their last names.
I want that to be one person's full name instead of three person.
Three persons, one name.
Yeah, three names, one person. That is what I want. Like, hi, I'm Bond, James Bond. Who are you? I'm Murakami Wolf Swinson.
No, Swinson. Murakami Wolf Swinson.
Oh,
That's his catchphrase.
That's his thing. He just woos.
So this ran for one season, 65 episodes, originally syndicated, local syndication, which I don't know how that differs from regular syndication.
Oh.
For a short synopsis, written by Tangle Freak 98. I feel like we've read something by Tangle Freak before.
Oh,
I don't know.
It's a funny name. I like it.
Tangle Freak, the nephew of MI6's greatest spy, carries on his uncle's legacy by combating a rogues gallery of new and familiar villains with the help of his schoolmates.
I mean, in a nutshell, that's it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty accurate. Who are some of the actors who played in this show?
So the voice of James Bond Jr. was provided by Corey Burton. At first I was gonna really go into everybody's backgrounds here. Then I decided I didn't feel like it. So I'm just, but a lot of these people voice a lot of characters, so it's going to be quite a few things to get through. So, I mean, there's your reason why. I'll talk more about Corey Burton much later in this episode, but you'll see. The voices of IQ, Knick-Knack, and Scumlord. Oh, boy. Scumlord. Those were provided by Jeff Bennett. The voice of Tracy Milbanks provided by Mona Marshall. The voice of Gordo Lighter, Jaws, Skullcap, Goldfinger, Oddjob, Snuffer, and The Worm are provided by Jan Rabson.
Dang.
Snuffer? Okay. The voices of Phoebe Farragut and Ms. Fortune. Get it? Like Miss Fortune, but it's Ms. Ms. Fortune were provided by Susan Silo. The voice of Trevor Noseworthy IV was provided by Simon Templeman. The voice of Principal...
Wait, hold on a second.
Yes.
because Trevor's voice in the second episode we watched was very different from the first and the third episode. Did you notice that?
I think it was just the same person.
He did something where he really changed it in the second episode we watched for some reason. Maybe he was just out sick. So they're like, okay, we need to stand in for Trevor.
He's only credited with the one guy.
Okay.
Simon
because it was like
Templeman.
way higher pitched.
Yeah,
and
I think
super nasally.
I think they may have just changed. Maybe they changed his. They had him change how he does the voice to make it even more annoying.
Yeah, but then in
they
the
did.
last episode we watched, which came later, it was back to the first episode's voice. So maybe they got, I don't know.
Voice of Principal Milbanks was Julian Holloway. The voice of Coach Mitchell was Brian Stokes Mitchell. The voices of Goldfinger, not Goldfinger, Goldfinger, Barbella, and Tierra Hotstones was Kath Soucie. Got some hot stones there.
Wow.
The voice of Principal Milbanks and Dr. No was provided by Julian Holloway. And last one I'm going to talk about, the voice of the Chameleon, which he's only a few episodes, but I wanted to mention him because this guy's great. Was done by Alan Oppenheimer, who we love. We love Alan. We got to meet Alan several years ago. And
Yeah,
he was
a nice guy.
He was so nice, and he was super, super fun. And he taught us how to do the Skeletor voice and why he wanted to do Skeletor the way he did.
Makes sense.
So that was fun.
So for a few tasty marshmallows out of a big bowl of James Bond Jr. cereal, I wonder if there was a James Bond Jr. cereal, actually. There might have been.
It could have been.
Because there were toys, video games, all for something that only
Comics.
aired for like a year.
Yeah. And shouldn't have.
So for a few tasty marshmallows, James Bond's motto was "Danger lurks within every shadow." It wasn't.
I don't think
You see
I
that
ever heard him.
gunshot?
Yeah. Did you see that gunshot? I don't think I ever heard him say that.
I didn't hear him say it either.
In
Not
any
in
of
the
these
episodes we watched. It
episodes.
wasn't.
So how is
Nope.
they lie.
James Bond had no brothers or sisters in the novels and in the films, so this kid shouldn't exist, is what this is saying. And even if he did, like, a junior implies that his dad must have also been named James, which
Yes.
means that if it was James Bond's brother, then it would have just been James Bond and other James Bond.
Yeah.
There's so many questions.
This is my son James and my other son James and his son James.
I just really love the name James.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
really like that name a lot. It's pretty good. Good
Oh,
Lord.
God. Yeah, despite the junior in his name, the main character of this show is actually his namesake's nephew, of course, which is what we were just talking about. And if, in case you didn't know, the cartoon is a spin-off of the James Bond films, but is not canon.
Oh, really? It's not?
Yeah.
Really?
So
Okay.
Mr. James Bond Jr. himself does not show up anywhere else outside of this cartoon.
Oh, snap. Okay.
That's about everything marshmallow-wise with this was the most obvious stuff that you pretty much already knew coming into it.
Well, I think if I remember right, there was at one time, like, I think back in the 60s, or when were the actual, like, novels made? Because I think he originally did try to write something, I think, for kids, and it was...
Oh, yeah, it was...
It was supposed to be like a James Bond Jr. thing, but it was still like the same kind of premise, I think. Like it was supposed to be a nephew. Like it was still not supposed to be his son.
Which it still doesn't make sense, even if it's the original.
And
Yeah,
I
'cause-
literally think that he was 003 and a half instead of 007.
Yeah, because in the 1967 novel, it was literally called The Adventures of James Bond Jr., 003 and a half.
Oh, God. I was hoping that I was wrong.
Nope.
Oh, man. That
I
just
don't know
seems
if they
like
ever-
a bad joke that someone would make about the show, but it was an actual thing.
Yeah, and they never give him any kind of number here because he's not an official member, I guess.
Good.
Or maybe he is?
No, I don't
know.
think so. I think that's why they're in school.
I guess, but they keep sending him stuff. I guess that's just...
That's just his uncle.
They talk it off by just saying that his uncle sent it to him.
Yeah.
Throughout the series, we never see actual James Bond or hear his voice. He's just this omnipotent figure who gets talked about often.
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing much on the marshmallow side of things. You had
Okay.
heard of this show before, and as far as I know, previously thought you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought I liked it as a kid. I mean, I probably did like it as a kid. I do remember having some of the toys for sure. And I do remember watching it as a kid. I guess I just didn't know what I was talking about. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, for a kid though, this was probably a lot of fun. It's just kind of going back, and because I was obsessed with James Bond as a kid, because one of my fondest memories as a child was my dad would get like 2 weeks off of work around Christmas, and I think it was it AMC or some other network would do like the 24 days of Bond or whatever, where it would just do like James Bond movie marathons like all December long. And so like me and him were just watching James Bond stuff all the time. So like when this came out, I was just like, holy crap, more James Bond. Yes. So I think that's probably why I got into it.
Yeah, I remember watching it too, and I couldn't remember really any of the characters or anything, but the theme song I've always remembered, even though the last time I saw this or heard that theme song was probably back in the 90s. It was still fresh in my mind the moment that you mentioned it.
Yeah, sing it for us.
James Bond Jr. Boo-doo. Look out, he's coming through. He's got a job to do while he rescues the girl.
Real quick before we get into the play, just for everybody, a real quick double. Oh no! You see what I did? If you forgot about the 24-hour live stream, but if you're listening to this on Saturday, the day that we released it, we're still live on Twitch right now. So you can pop over to twitch.tv/nerdsloth and make sure our bodies are still twitching, even if our minds have long since given up. Also, we have a merch sale going on right now with a brand new design to celebrate Pride Month. So head over to nerdsloth.com and click on store. And thanks to our friends at TeePublic, you can pick up t-shirts for only $13 and everything else up to 35% off. That deal only lasts till the 27th, but our new Pride design is here to stay. So again, count up your shekels, head over to nerdsloth.com and click on store.
So let's just go ahead and talk about this thing.
Do we gotta?
Yeah, I think we kind of have to. Let's start with the first episode, which was The Beginning, season 1, episode 1.
Aptly named.
Where en route to his new school, Warfield Academy, Bond Jr. is chased by Scum, who is interested in stealing the Aston Martin DB5. So Scum, just to give you a heads up, is saboteurs and criminals united in mayhem.
Man. This was definitely one where they definitely came up with the acronym first, and they're just like,
oh, absolutely,
we got to call them Scum. Now what can we fit into this? We really got to do this.
Because I think the James Bond like proper one was like Spectre or something like that. I don't remember. It was a much better name than Scum, but kids need simple words.
Well, and then the best part is that the head honcho is Scum Lord.
Yeah, and it's just a dude. It's just a purple dude.
It's just all purple.
I'm not sure if that was supposed to be like him just like cast in a shadow, or if he's just wearing like a purple jumpsuit, or not jumpsuit, but a purple like a lycra suit.
He's everything purple with that man, even a purple hat, purple mask, everything. God, oh, that's great. So.
We get to see after this chase like what his car is capable of, which is turning into airplane mode, because he ends up driving off a cliff. The Scum dude thinks he's dead already. He's like, all right, farewell, young Bond, and then like he turns into a plane and flies away, and the dude's upset. I think Jaws was with him too.
Yeah, Jaws was there.
Yeah,
Jaws
and so fun. That's what transitions us into like his actual school that he goes to, Warfield Academy, where he pulls in, recklessly. And just like James Bond, this kid has trouble with authority figures. So he's immediately causing trouble because he's got his side. I don't know. I guess he's a secret agent. He's a secret agent on the side of learning how to be a secret agent. I'm not really sure what they're doing here, but
yeah,
I guess he can't really like tell people that he has this side thing that he's doing, or at least he can't tell the officials. Just bringing all his friends into danger is fine, just not the official people who are trained to do so.
They don't really spell it out. Like, I don't think he's working for anybody being a spy. I think he's just kind of doing his own thing.
But they really encourage it.
Yeah. He meets all of these people that are like sons or daughters of basically like people that know his uncle or have worked with his uncle before. So like
Right.
IQ is the grandson of Q. So IQ is your basic, he's kind of a dweeb. He's the brainy scientist kid, but he's not very good because all of his inventions tend to like malfunction. I mean, every once in a while, like at the end of the episode, by the end, he will have something that works and gets them out of a tough spot. But the very first like thing he does always backfires.
But it still like somehow ends up useful, like that liquid that's supposed to I guess turn the eggs into, or I guess cook the eggs quickly. He uses that later for a different reason, and it ends up working out.
That's true.
Yeah, he's played very comedically as opposed to Q, who's got those great inventions, who's got those great inventions, and so he's just like obviously still in the learning process of it. So not everything's a success, but he does have some good stuff that comes of it.
I mean, all of them are kind of like your usual, if you think of spies, the usual crowd you would get. So like Gordo, for example, you think of spies, you definitely have your like California surfer guy, like Gordo, who's like, hey, what's going on, man? And, spies. British spy school,
I don't know who the actual, like his uncle was supposed to be, or his dad or whoever, like the Liker guy. I'm not sure who he is in the James Bond universe.
I don't remember. I recognize a few names here and there, but I really don't. I don't remember, man. All I remember is just that like half of it was just like, oh God, what are they trying to accomplish? There's Phoebe, who's kind of like, she crushes on James real quickly, but she's kind of
supposed to be like analogous, or like the parallel to Moneypenny, who crushes on James Bond, but it's not reciprocated.
Exactly. And she's kind of she's a little bit of like brainy also in a way, like not like IQ is, but she's a smart cookie. And then we've also got Tracy, who is the daughter of the principal, Principal Milbanks, who is definitely the one that catches James's eye, but she's kind of like, she's a little bit more aloof to it, but she's kind of the straight shooter of the group. Like she's the one that has her head on straight more than everybody else, and seems to have things together way better. And then they get Trevor, who's the obnoxious rich kid that everyone hates. His name's Noseworthy, dude.
He's your guy who is the antagonist when the villains aren't in the picture. He's the regular life antagonist.
Yeah. So we get all that. We get the coach, who just kind of like, even though the principal keeps telling James, like, hey, you need to stay here, no leaving the school, no going out on unsanctioned missions, all that stuff. The coach is just kind of like, I was friends with your dad. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, here, climb out this window.
Yeah, he's loving it.
He doesn't care. So James gets away with everything. It's fine.
Yeah. So the actual plot of this episode is basically just the scum is trying to get this electromagnetic pulse generator that's supposed to be hidden in the Aston Martin.
As they are.
Right. And then that's really it. Like it's sort of like they end up tricking James into, they steal the car by tricking James into going to the post office to get a package that wasn't really there. And then they just steal the car.
Classic spy trap right there. Hey, you got a package at the post office pickup. Oh, okay. Hey, let's steal his car.
Right. It's like they might as well have just like rang the door and been like, telegram, and then like brought him something and then stole the car while he was distracted.
Or like just steal the car while he's in school.
And the way that the car was stolen was arguably even like a Stranger thing, where Jaws breaks in. Well, Jaws just steps into it because what's her face is in there.
Tracy's in the back seat.
Tracy's in the back seat. Jaws breaks in, and then he just like bites the starter ignition cables, and it starts up. So I guess that's all you got to do.
Yeah. Dude, I think Aston Martin really needs some better security features.
Yeah, because all you got to do is bite the cables.
Seriously, I think that's a huge design flaw. You just bite those cables and then you got a new car.
For our own protection, I'm just going to say, please do not bite the cables of a vehicle to try and start it. because that is not going to work and you'll probably hurt yourself pretty badly.
Unless you're the guy that tried to steal my car that one time, then next time try to bite the cables.
You know what? If you are someone who's inclined to steal a car, please bite the cables.
Bite the
Go
cables. It's better that way. I've seen it more effective this way.
Right. Yeah. You saw Jaws do it. So
Saw
of
him
course it
do
works.
it. So why not? I mean, I don't know what else to say about this.
Well,
They
it's
get
pretty
it back.
basic, man.
Yeah. All the episodes really are.
Yeah, well, true. But this one just turns into like, okay, we got to go get this car because we've got that pulse generator there. And we've got to go. We doubly have to go because we need to save Tracy for whatever reason. Like, I don't know why the Tracy thing got stacked on top of the car thing, as if that wasn't important enough. But either way, like all the friends get together. It's like, oh, we got to go save Tracy. And they're going to do that. They don't really succeed at it because Jaws ends up catching James also. And then they're flying away to Scum headquarters with them locked in the trunk, I think. And that's where they start using some of the gadgets. IQ gave him this watch that had a buzzsaw and I guess a laser on it or something. And so he uses that to escape the trunk and then sets the car. Okay, so the airplane part of the car doesn't work anymore because that would be too easy. So he sets it to where it repeatedly is ramming the door to the pilot seat,
The cockpit.
Where what's his face? The purple guy, Scumlord.
How can you forget Scumlord's name?
How could I forget? Oh yeah, he also has a dog named Scumbag, by the way. And then just to keep Jaws trapped in there, and then do they jump out? I'm trying to remember what they do.
Jaws ends up biting the part of the bumper off the car. He just starts eating it, which is great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Jaws
so
starts eating the car.
I love this part. There's one parachute only, and and then Tracy's like, "Oh, this one parachute." James just nabs it and puts it on. I was like, "Dang! All right."
But I mean,
his
to his
plan
credit,
was
he at
to-
least like grabs her too.
Right.
So,
but I was just like, geez.
I know Jaws ends up like just ejecting from the plane. And I guess, I don't know if he has adamantium bones or whatever, but he survives his fall into this barn or something. We don't see what happens to Scumlord. I can only assume he died right there. First
assuming,
episode.
him and his dog are dead for sure.
Right. We don't get any kind of notification that they're not. And we never see them again in the episodes we watch. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the first episode. They end up the car, the Aston Martin is stuck in the plane when it explodes because it ends up exploding. And instead of like getting any kind of like punishment for it, James Bond Senior, not senior. I say that's not even his dad. Regular James Bond 007. He sends James Bond Jr. another car, but like a red one. So it's like, okay, now it's
even
your
shinier
car.
One. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, since you destroyed your car, here's a brand new car.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, and Noseworthy was trying to get James in trouble, but he failed because James got back before the principal could catch him.
Yeah, he was trying to get him in trouble by just saying like, "Oh, he's off like school property or whatever."
He's off property, and you said he couldn't leave.
Yeah, so he's that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's it for that episode. Like, I know it sounds really basic, but it really was. We probably like stretched it out more than we even should have.
Yeah.
But and then the end is just like a laugh thing where IQ is like, "Ooh, look at all the gadgets in this new car. Imagine what I could do." And James just like, "Oh no, you don't." And then it's like not even a laugh track. It's just like,
I know. I'm just adding it for you.
Yeah.
That's my
So
laugh
the second episode we watched was A Chilling Affair, season 1, episode 6. This was the highest rated, and I can kind of see why, but we'll go into that. So Dr. No kidnaps Professor Frost, a scientist involved in cryogenics, in order to thaw out a master criminal who hid his fortunes before being frozen.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, at least out of what we saw, this was one of the more original ones, I guess. It's like, okay, that's kind of a neat like nugget of an idea.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I'm not saying it was executed like fantastically, but as far as these episodes we saw goes,
it had a
was one of the
little
better
bit
ones.
more of a plot. I'll give it that.
We also find out that like Scum has ninjas, which is cool.
Yeah, Scum ninjas. That's fun. And we also got to see James Bond Jr. threaten a man with a blowfish.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was great.
But it's okay because then he ate the piece that he had cut off. So I guess James knows exactly how to cut a goldfish, how to cut a blowfish
Yeah.
to not poison himself. So
Yeah, I don't think
nice.
that's how it works. I thought it was how it's cooked, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I've never had it, and I never will.
Yeah, I don't want
Not
to
gonna
do
risk
that.
it.
I don't think I want to risk it for that biscuit. Yeah, ninjas come kidnap Dr. Frost or whatever. James and his friends team up with his daughter / lab assistant, and they're like, well, your dad was kidnapped. Let's go eat some sushi. They go to a Japanese restaurant, and lo and behold, one of the ninjas works there as the sushi chef. You know, because plot.
Yeah, they recognized him too.
Yep.
And apparently, like they recognized him after they took his headband off for some reason, but there was nothing on his forehead that I saw.
Well,
like what?
They recognized him even before that, and then they pulled it off, and they're just like, haha.
But he pulled it off like it was a huge revelation. But it's like, no,
Right.
like you can see his face already. I
Yeah.
didn't get that part. Maybe I missed something.
No, I don't think you did. So he scares him by threatening to, James cuts this piece of blowfish himself and is just like, hey, I'm going to feed you. Airplane's coming in. Open the hangar.
Yeah.
Unless you tell me where Dr. No took this old man. So the guy's just like, cool, I don't want to eat that. So I'll tell you. And he does. Then James eats it instead.
Yeah.
Then I just remember there being a whole lot of vehicles, lots of like Jeeps and helicopters. And I'm just like, yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of vehicles every episode, right? Because that's more toys that they can make.
Yeah, that's how you sell those toys.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man. Did you catch the mistake in the animation here?
Which one?
I don't know if it was oh, man. Yeah. Well, there's one where I think a ninja was supposed to be talking when they go to like.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
No. Here's what it was.
That's
It wasn't
good.
that he was supposed to be talking. It was that they used the scene where he was talking just to show that there were ninjas.
Yes.
Like they just used that instead of like freeze framing it or something, they just had him where he was still talking. You could see his little mouth moving, but
Mhm.
nothing was coming out. And then it cuts to the scene like right after that where he actually is talking, but it's the exact same headshot that they used before.
It was
Yeah.
really funny because you see that ninja mask moving like over his mouth, like you said, and then Phoebe's like, "Oh no!" And then it's that exact same clip.
So, yeah.
I don't know. I was like, "This is so bad." Oh man, that I think there was a few issues. There was a really bad one with Dr. No too, where you can tell they cut out his body from another frame and pasted it over like another already animated existing kind of like cell or frame and then blurred it.
Yeah.
And I was like, ew, what is this? It looks so bad.
Yeah, I think like Filmation had more consistent animation than this show did.
Which is sad because Filmation is all over the place.
Well, Filmation is known for its like super low budget reuse of clips and everything, but
Yeah.
James Bond, it tried to do that, but didn't do it convincingly at all.
Right. So they get caught, of course.
Let's describe Dr. No for a second, because obviously, and Jaws, I guess, they're much different from their real life counterparts. And, you know, understandably, because Dr. No in the actual James Bond movies is, you know, pretty normal looking
He's
dude.
just an Asian man. That's all.
So just to punch it up a little bit, they
Oh,
made
God.
him green, and they gave him a giant Fu Manchu mustache. They could have really
and-
done without the mustache. I think
And
just a
robot
green
arms
dude.
too. So,
Oh, and robot arms, of course, because it was a 90s cartoon.
yeah.
And then Jaws, he just is a Dick Tracy villain. That's really
Yeah.
all there is to it.
Well, it's weird. I don't know. They shrank him down a bit. He's not nearly as big in this show.
Jaws in the movies like
Doesn't
didn't
talk.
talk. Right.
This guy talks all the time. And his entire lower jaw is metal instead of just his teeth.
Yeah. Some big, and his teeth are like razor sharp instead of Jaws, which are just like kind of blunt teeth. But either way, they're different from their counterparts, but it's fine because I understand to a degree. The only one that like I really had a problem with is Odd Job.
Oh, God.
It's just like Run DMC. And the only logic I can see is it's like, who wears a hat and is popular with the kids? Run
Oh,
DMC.
God.
There it is. And so it's literally like he's wearing the tracksuit, the gold chains.
chain, the sunglasses, that style hat, you know, the hat that you associate with Run DMC.
Right.
Oh God, like all the rings. He's got like tons of rings on his fingers.
Yeah.
God.
That felt so outside of anything that was acceptable for even as far as this cartoon was stretching things.
They made him
Because
really
it's
tall
like,
too.
why-
Like
Yeah,
he's
and
normal
Oddjob is,
sized and he's kind of pudgy.
An Oddjob in the movies is known to be like the
So
short
tiny.
dude, and he's
Yeah.
got his tuxedo on, which would have still worked in this show. I don't know why they had to change him so much.
Because he's got to be more hip. They needed a hip character. They needed something
Oh.
for that 90s hip hop style.
No,
Who screams
that-
hip hop
okay.
more than Oddjob, bruh?
Right.
DJ Oddjob.
It was just because of the hat. Like that's why they had to curse him with it.
Yeah.
But either way, like because he still throws his hat in the show too. Like that's still his thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so those are the villains, or the
Those are the ones that we saw.
and the parallels to the real life villains. We get a lot of like scenes here where it's very tropey in the sense that like supervillains holding like Dr. No holds James and Tracy over the liquid nitrogen, but then like just leaves the room while they're slowly descending there.
Oh my God.
The villain trope.
Yes. Like, okay, like why villains do this all wrong? Like instead of slowly lowering them in and leaving the room, why not just shove them in? Why don't you just push them? Just like get behind them, give them a little shove. Quit setting yourself up for failure, guys. You're better than. Hey, come to my TED Talk later where we're going to discuss better ways to be a villain. TEDx, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to set up a little seminar. I'll send you guys invites in the Discord. I'll teach you how to do this better.
Dr. No, I'm assuming you've earned a PhD in order to gain that title, so I expected more from you.
This man's a doctor and he can't figure out. It's that Hippocratic oath, man. He can't take a life. He can't do it.
He's following it.
He keeps trying, but he just can't do it.
He can't bring himself to do it.
Ah.
Yeah, so they escaped that obviously because they used his like this heat like thing that they had mentioned earlier in the episode that the watch can do now. He uses it to, I don't know, heat up the liquid nitrogen. I'm not sure if it works that way, but I'm not a liquid nitrogen scientist.
I
so
don't think
know
you
for
could
sure.
turn the liquid nitrogen solid using heat. I don't think that's
So
how
they didn't turn it
any of
solid;
this
it turned into a
works.
gas.
I thought it turned solid because they like stood on top of it.
Oh, it was
And
gone
that's how they got
in
out.
the next scene.
Oh, I think that was just an animation goof there. Because
Oh,
like it literally like
probably.
they stepped right onto that thing because it was still that yellowish like color, and the vat was silver, but they were standing on that yellow stuff, which was the color of the liquid nitrogen before. So yeah, I think they just really messed up.
Probably they left the watch behind. I guess it was still under the now solid nitrogen.
I don't
don't
know.
know.
Or they just forgot.
Phoebe and IQ come in and they think that they were melted in acid or something because all they find is the watch that apparently is acid resistant.
Sure.
James then uses makeup to disguise IQ as this master criminal that Dr. No is trying to resurrect so that he can find his treasure. I appreciated at least on the villain side of things that when Dr. No thought that criminal had been resurrected or had been like taken out of cryostasis, that he was going to, backstab him once they found his treasure. It's
Right.
like, that's an obvious villain move. That makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah. But then I love the voice though. It's like, so this is your place, eh? Like, that that 20s gangster voice thing.
Right.
That was pretty funny. But then he doesn't backstab him. He's just like, all right, let's go get in my helicopter.
Well, he doesn't backstab him yet because he's got to find his treasure.
Yeah.
Then he's going to backstab him. That was his plan.
That's true, I guess. James follows behind them in another vehicle, uses another IQ gadget to basically like hook them and make them crash. And I don't know, somehow Dr. No escapes anyway. So
I can feel your excitement over this one. Trailing downward the more we talk about this episode.
It's-
I don't know. Stuff happened.
Something
They
happens.
crashed.
They crashed. The bad guy's gone. Trevor's back at the school. Trevor's still trying to get James in trouble. He's like, "Yeah, James is going again," and they're like, "No, he's not. Look right there." And he's like, "That's a gardener." And they're like, "No, it's James in disguise."
Right.
It's not. It's the gardener.
They have some kind of device that controls other devices. Like they were just throwing out whatever they could.
Yeah.
And he uses that to take control of that van, then like sends the criminals to Scotland Yard, or sends Dr. No to Scotland Yard in that van, but he escapes somehow. We don't see how. And that was it. He makes it back just in time to get to class.
Once again.
Or what? Yeah, it makes it back to class. And then he says he made it back to class with 007 seconds to spare.
Oh no, I have 7 seconds to spare.
Not even that. He says 007 seconds to spare. He just wants to make sure
Let's
you
move
know.
on. This is stupid.
Garden of Evil is the last episode we watched, which was season 1, episode 58. This was a random choice, or was it somebody's actual choice?
No, I just randomly picked this one. Basically, I was just looking for an episode that had Odd Job in it, and I was like, all right, let's do this one.
Okay. In Hong Kong, Trevor picks a purple rose, but it somehow hypnotizes him. Now it's up to James, IQ, Tracy, and Jasmine to go to the field of the purple rose to find a cure. However, Dr. No and Oddjob try to stop their plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how things happen, but not really.
I love that we get introduced to this new MI6 agent named Marco Polo. God.
Yeah.
Dang it.
We get Marco Polo. We get Jasmine in this episode. Something I appreciated was that for the entirety of the episode, or at least most of it, you feel like Jasmine is like a double agent for Dr. No.
Yeah.
And so the reveal of that was
She's a
kind of clever for
triple
everything the show was
agent.
offering.
Yeah. I like that. Triple agent.
It was just that the messages she was sending to the actual people she worked, I think she said she worked for the CIA, were being intercepted by Dr. No. And that's why you thought she was talking to them.
Right. She was basically like Marco Polo's contact. So she's trying to help find Marco Polo, who had intercepted one of these flowers that was able to spray this gas that leaves people in like this like trance-like state, so they can be easily manipulated and told to do whatever, and they'll just do it. He gets sprayed with it, and he gets captured, basically. Loses that flower, which was going to be used as evidence. A street vendor picks it up who sells flowers, ends up selling it to Trevor. Trevor sprays himself because he's an idiot. And then Gordo starts goofing with him, as you would, make him do all kinds of stuff. It's pretty funny.
But then Gordo gets bored of him because one of the things that Gordo enjoys is making Trevor angry.
Yeah, and he can't do it now.
He can't make him angry anymore.
Yeah, I could see that. That would suck.
But when these people are taken like control of with this rose, it's not just that they're just like listen to what you say. They will tell you, it's like, I am at your command.
Like, will obey.
Yeah.
Did you catch that real, like, I don't know. I don't know what the intention was, but to me it came off as pervy with James and Tracy. Did you catch that line later on?
Oh, I'm trying to remember because I think I thought the same thing. What was the line?
There's a point in this, like, we're jumping ahead a little bit, but who cares? Where Tracy got sprayed with it and she's under control. James, rescues her and stuff, and he's just like, come on, we gotta go get you the antidote. And she's like, I will obey. And he's like, before I change my mind. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Red flags. Red flag on the field. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh man. I was like, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I do remember that.
Yeah. I was like, okay. That's interesting. That was the most like his uncle he's ever been, though.
True. That's fair. Yeah.
I mean, otherwise he's been pretty much the complete opposite of the real James Bond through this entire show. And not in a good way. Not in a good way.
There was a part where they all got captured and dropped into a processing plant, but they weren't like barred down or anything. They were just in this large bin.
Yeah.
But it took them so long to get out of the bin. And that's all he had to do was get out of it because it was going to be carried over to whatever to be melted or something. But they weren't trapped.
Yeah.
They were just being lazy.
They could have just like climbed on each other's shoulders and someone could have climbed out, pull the other up. I mean, that's like the classic get out of a pit situation. And they were just like, Well, guys, I guess we're dead. I guess
This is it.
I guess we're done for. That's like, oh, but hey, it's only 6 feet. We could definitely. Nope. Tracy, sit down.
Just lay down and accept
We're
it,
done.
Tracy. It's over.
Yeah, we're out of here.
So Marco Polo got taken over as well. Well, his mind got taken over by the purple rose gas or whatever. What Dr. No's plan is to make gas bomb missiles to control
Why
the
not?
world,
Yeah.
obviously.
Wouldn't that get boring? Don't you think? If everyone
I
does
would think
everything
so.
you want, wouldn't you be bored?
Yeah, I think that too. I think that when I think
That
about
sucks.
having like telepathic powers too,
Yeah.
where it's like if you could control people's minds, how quickly would you get bored with that, knowing that you would always have your way?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to control minds. I wouldn't mind being able to read them because then
Yeah,
you're
that'd be cool.
Because then like you still are able to do like your your thing and you can say things and try things and you'll still get their reactions and stuff. You just have a little bit of an edge. You have a little bit more intuition on how you're doing.
That I wouldn't mind because as
Yeah.
it stands right now, I usually have no idea what people are thinking.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty bad at it. I think Rochelle wouldn't mind if I could read her mind sometimes.
So what else is there to this episode? Odd Job's there.
Oddjob's
That's
there.
it.
He's throwing his hat around. How they remedy the situation is they end up kind of turning the tables because the only person who's been inoculated is Dr. No and then themselves. So they end up gassing the entire place so that all of Dr. No's minions get gassed. And then James basically tells them to just take this place out, like destroy it. But here's where they completely goofed this entire episode. Like all the logic got thrown right out the window, right?
Okay.
They established really quickly that any command, like it doesn't matter who's giving the command, right? You say a
Right.
command, the person does it. So all these people are gassed. James says, hey, just destroy this place. So they all start destroying the place. Oddjob's one of them. He takes out a gun, starts shooting it. Dr. No says, Oddjob, put down that gun. Oddjob does not put down the gun. He keeps shooting.
Do you think they have to carry out the last command they were given before they can start a new one? Like, is it in queue somewhere?
I don't think so. I mean, I feel like that's adding a lot of rules to this really stupid idea. So
Yeah.
I think, honestly, I think they just screwed up.
I still think they could have played it the way that they intended to, but at least let Oddjob be taken back under Dr. No's control because he has, commanded him to, because he wouldn't be able to do that with everybody because he's not right by the intercom yet. So they still could have played it out, but still followed their own rules.
Sure.
But instead, yeah, you're right. They just broke them.
Yeah, they really goofed that. So they get back, they give Trevor the antidote. They're like heading back to the school and Trevor's like, I thought we were on vacation. They're like, oh, don't worry about it. You had a gas. And Trevor looks mad. And I looked mad. I looked mad too.
Well, Chris, why don't we bring the inner kids out a little early today by sending them to Warfield Academy, posing as rich, intelligent children with bright futures, then see what they thought of James Bond Jr.
This cartoon's got everything you could want, right? Spies, fast cars, all kinds of cool weapons, and so many bad guys. It's like an evil buffet. Plus, think of all the toys. Toys!
This show was okay. I've seen better action in other shows and funnier lines and cooler villains, but at least the theme song was super catchy. James Bond Jr. chases scum around the world. I can't get it out of my head.
And you never will. You never will.
Oh boy. I'm really glad that they've got such a little bit more optimistic view of this show than I think that we're about to have. But let's try and give it a chance though, and let's talk about some of the things that we did like about this show. What were some of the things that you liked?
Well, I mean, first of all, for me, is that catchy theme song. Like, it is annoyingly catchy. Even before we watched this episode, like, it was this song that would randomly pop into my head all throughout my life, ever since the 90s when I saw the show, especially those whispers at the end about him chasing scum. I have always remembered that. So I'm not saying it's even a good song per se, but I will probably never forget it. So for whatever that's worth, it's one of the catchiest theme songs amongst a sea of catchy 90s theme songs. So there is that. And I guess my other like would be like, I know we're judging this from an adult perspective, but I think it does a decent job as a soft introduction to the James Bond universe for a younger audience. It's got relatively charming main character, memorable allies, and tons of gadgets serving as obvious MacGuffins, but so do the actual James Bond movies, so that kind of tracks. And plus, like, I know the villains pulled from the movies take a lot of liberties, but I think it's for the better. It's like we were talking about earlier, where Dr. No is just a normal, boring-looking dude in the movie, so that wouldn't sell as a toy to kids, so it makes sense to make him green. They could have done without the mustache, but the rest of it's fine. Jaws looked pretty cool, I guess. He was a Dick Tracy mobster, so that was fine. Odd Job is one I had problems with, but you know, it's whatever. They did what they thought was cool at the time, where it's like, hey kids, get your hands on Run DMC Odd Job action figure with real influential hip hop karate chop action.
Run ODJ, I don't know. ODJB.
Run ODD.
There we go. ODD. Yeah, I'm going to agree with some of that. Like, I think the cameos and the links to the movies were a lot of fun. Every time a character was introduced, I was just kind of trying to think in my head, like, okay, who was this back in the day, or who were they related to? And I think that was pretty cool. And I did like some of the different takes on some of the villains. And there's so many that we didn't even get to in these episodes, like Goldfinger and plenty of others that would have been really cool to kind of see some of their takes. And lots of villains made specifically for this show that kind of follow that same sort of like over the top format, named for whatever their shtick is. Like, I think there's like a piratey sort of dude whose name's like Walker D. Plank. Like, I'm not even kidding. So it's like, that kind of stuff, like you said, for the target audience, like nails it. That stuff's really, really kind of fun. So that was definitely something I did like about the show. When getting into the things we didn't like, here's one thing I'm going to disagree with. I did not think that James Bond Jr. had really much charm to him at all. Like, especially like, I didn't like his voice at all. And no offense to Corey Burton, I don't think it's any fault of his, because this guy's got a great track record. Tons of amazing voices from like Transformers, the G1 stuff. I mean, he voiced Spike, Sideswipe, Brawn, Shockwave. He was Dale from Chip and Dale. Like, this dude's a legend. But James's voice here was so lackluster and unimpressive. There's like no suaveness to it, like you would expect for being somebody that's taking on the mantle of like James Bond. He sounds like an adolescent Hugh Grant with no intrigue. And I think that just made for such a boring main character for me. So my guess is that this was just the direction that Corey was being given when he was in the studio and stuff. I really don't think that voice, I don't think there's any way that would have been his first choice.
Yeah, I mean, I was fine with it, but it wasn't impressive at all. It was just what I was kind of expecting, I guess, because I remembered it vaguely from childhood. So I don't know how they could have really like punched it up much more than what it was.
I just think I think part of it's really just part of the writing of the character too.
Yeah, he did not have the best lines at all.
He didn't feel like a Bond character at any point. He, like, you would never, if you were introduced to this character first without knowing his name, let's say they were saving his identity in the first episode for a big reveal, like, oh, it's James Bond Jr., you would never have guessed that this was a Bond person, because he had none of the characteristics, anything. It didn't feel like it at all.
None of
to
that
me.
Bond charm.
Yeah, there's no charm. There's no intrigue. None of it. And then, I mean, on top of that too, it just the writing of this show was just so run of the mill. The interesting parts of the show were some of those villain characters. It was the cameos and stuff like that is from the movies and everything. But like half of these characters too could just fit into any other show with the way it was written. Like Toxic Avengers, Captain Planet. You just name one and it would work.
I was
So-
thinking heavily of those shows during this, especially Toxic Crusaders, because that blonde dude, Gordo, reminded me of the two-headed blonde dude in that show.
Yeah, he was like the exact same character.
Right, the
And
blonde
I think
surfer
that was the
dude.
problem, is that this felt like the writers just took an amalgamation of other shows and pieced together some plot ideas and then threw in some James Bondy bits
Right.
and called it a new thing. And it's like, man, you guys didn't try with this, did you?
I think for my dislikes, it was just, this is one of those shows you could tell that they didn't have much faith in it from the start, or that it was just very rushed to sell the surprising amount of toys that it had, because it just looks super underdeveloped and a little sloppy most of the time animation wise. So it just was not impressive on that front. Even as far as like 90s shows go, like it was one of the weaker ones animation wise. Also, this show absolutely became a victim of the 90s cartoon tropes, like unnecessarily annoying antagonist character who gives you trouble in your normal
Oh my
life
God,
when you're
yeah.
not saving the world. We had Trevor, the villain who hangs you over a vat of insert dangerous substance here and then just walks away, like we were talking about earlier. And just any other of the multiple times I noticed in the 3 episodes we watched where the hero was captured. He was dead to rights with literally no way out, but then escapes just due to poorly written villains who didn't like double check or didn't. You remember in the last episode we watched with the roses, like they could have taken over James's mind too, but Oddjob's just like,
Easily.
no, I've already got enough servants, so I don't need another servant or something. It's like, why? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
This is all to say that it seemed to be one of the tropiest, like post 80s cartoons that I've ever seen coming out of it, because there were so many points. And I think it probably goes to your point of it was borrowing so many themes and elements from other shows. And those tropes were just some of them.
I agree with that 100%. Well, with that said, let's do our final reviews. And this is where I struggle. I think the premise of this show was super solid. I think it was a great idea to make a version of James Bond for kids and using all those different villains in fun and new ways. But they missed the mark with the parts of James Bond that makes it fun. If they had maybe spent less time on, the millions of sidekicks that they gave James and a little bit more time on giving him more personality or spending more time on the actual plot, I think they could have had something way more special. Like think of a tone closer to something like Carmen Sandiego, where there's some actual mystery going on, some actual spying going on. There's a little bit of thought and deducing like involved, instead of literally just running into another bad guy every episode. It's the exact same formula. Every episode we watched, it's just bad guy is up to something. James Bond and half of his friends get involved with one new character to aid them. They discover the bad guy's hideout. They get captured. They escape. They find secondary hideout just as the big bad guy plan is about to unfold. They escape again, and they use a new gadget IQ made for this episode. Bad guy gets stopped, but they get away. The friends that aren't with James are constantly being cut back over to during the course of the whole episode, doing something silly or covering for James, while Trevor tries to get him in trouble for not being at school. And then the episode always ends when Trevor's mad. Like, boom. That's what the writers had on their storyboard permanently.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just... It's so obnoxious. So with that said, I could only give this cartoon one bowl of Scumlord cereal out of 5.
I don't think this show was great, but I also don't think it was offensively bad like some cartoons have been that we've seen. It was very like middle of the line, generic 90s action cartoon. One of the most generic that I've ever seen. It was outmatched by other shows of the era for sure, but was still better than something like, I don't know, like Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters or even Sonic Underground. Like this was less offensive to me than some of those were. So overall, I'd give James Bond Jr. 2 big bowls of Secret Laser Watch cereal out of 5. And I think it was fine. Don't like go out and seek it. Like it's not even streaming anywhere. I think I watched it on YouTube.
Yeah, same.
Otherwise, like it exists. It's not terrible. It's not the worst thing we've seen, but it's also not good by any means.
That was going to be the question I asked, though. I was going to be like, okay, but would you recommend anyone watch it? And you're like, no.
I mean, I would say you could jump in and watch just one episode and know if you're going to like it. Because like Chris was saying, every episode is pretty much the same.
Oh, boy. Well, before we close this episode out, we have 3 new 5-star reviews with comments to read from Apple Podcasts.
Ooh.
So let's get into those real quick. This first 5-star review is from Kitty Gal, who says, "Hey, thanks. Did you see that gunshot?" No, she didn't. She didn't say that part. She says, "I love your podcast. You two are very clever and creative and are just awesome. I loved your episode on Gravity Falls, My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and Danny Phantom. Could you guys possibly do an episode on Wakfu?
Oh,
it's
Wakfu.
a TV show.
Yes.
Yeah, Wakfu. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Wakfu.
I know that show.
Okay, it's a TV show on Netflix. Thanks for doing this podcast. Keep up the good work. Doodle Paws.
That is
They signed it as Doodle Paws.
that is, I believe, a French show based on I don't know if it's based on the video game or if the video game is based on it, but
Okay.
it's also a board game. Like Wakfu is very popular in I
Cool.
think it's France.
Oh, dude, I just looked it up. Yeah, it's a turn-based MMORPG. Okay, like the game. There's a game of it.
Yeah, there is an MMO of it. I just didn't
Oh,
know if that's where
man.
it started.
But I don't know, but the art of it looks amazing. So yes, we will do that. Okay, so this other one, this is a long one, and we're in for it. We're gonna get some we're gonna get some talking to.
Uh-oh.
You ready? You strapped in?
Is it about Winx Club?
No, thankfully. This is from Gareth of Mirkwood, who left us 5 stars. Thank you, Gareth. An oasis for cartoon lovers, he says.
Oh.
I love this show. This is how Gareth talks. It's like an oasis for fans of cartoons like me. I'm almost 30 and I still love to explore the world of family-friendly animation. So it's refreshing to hear other adults talk about animation from all eras with so much reverence. I've been listening to this podcast for a while and have been meaning to leave a 5-star review. But here's where we get our talking to, though.
Uh-oh.
Today, I listened to Joseph and Chris's episode on X-Men, the animated series, and I really wanted to shout at my car radio when you guys were confusedly discussing the naming conventions of the character Nimrod. So I figured that leaving a 5-star review would be the best way to point out why Nimrod is actually a very fitting name for a Sentinel.
Please, yeah.
You ready for your history lesson?
I am. Let me hear it.
Okay, well, I got my thinking cap on. Nimrod is actually a very imposing name because it originally referred to a powerful hunter from the Bible. So the name Nimrod actually means mighty hunter, while the secondary definition of the name didn't come out until 1940. Appropriately, it was actually a cartoon that planted the seeds of this new definition. In fact, it was Bugs Bunny's supposed first appearance in the Merry Melodies episode A Wild Hare that Bugs Bunny sarcastically refers to Elmer Fudd as Nimrod, as if to mock his hunting ability. From there, it became Bugs' occasional nickname for Elmer. Many who did not understand the reference then began to use this pop culture reference as the insult you recognize today. So in truth, calling someone a Nimrod is not unlike sarcastically mocking someone with the name Einstein, because calling someone Einstein doesn't take away from the fact that Albert Einstein is still a legitimate genius. There are some super smart people who genuinely take compliment when being compared to him. Similarly, Nimrod can be a name used to praise someone's hunting ability. Okay, cartoon history lesson over.
Whoa.
Dude, that's some really cool trivia there, dude. Like, for reals.
Yeah.
I like that.
I had no idea, but now I'll never forget it. That's awesome.
It's gonna be hard for me to like reframe that name in my mind.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It's concreted as like an insult to us because that's how we've heard it our whole lives. But I like that I know the origin of it now. But I'll still assume if someone calls me a Nimrod, they're insulting me.
Yeah, probably. He also asked if we would watch The Dragon Prince on Netflix. And yes, we absolutely will, because we have had a ton of requests to do Dragon Prince. So we will do that. Thank you so much, Gareth.
Awesome.
All right, and then our last one is from 5-star from Hedges. Where did you heard your?
Okay.
Guys, can you stop just slamming your keyboard and just type a name? It's not that hard. They say, "Hi, I love your podcast. Please do Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Kid Cosmic." All right, yeah,
All right,
sure,
we'll do 'em.
We will. So thank you, name. I'm not going to try again. Gareth and Kitty Gal. We very much appreciate those. And if you have not left a rating on Apple Podcasts yet, please do so. That would be really, really stellar. Leaving a comment or at least a 5-star review in there definitely helps with our rankings in Apple, which makes it more possible for people to find us when they do searches and stuff. So really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. And also, thank you, David Bond, for suggesting this. I now know that I haven't really been missing out by not having seen this show for 20 plus years.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. And you know what? I'm always happy, whether I end up liking it or not, I'm always happy to go back and revisit something from childhood just to see, just to satisfy my curiosity. So thank you very much, Bond, David Bond, for suggesting this.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to say that James Bond Jr. does this too, but he's like, Bond, James Bond Jr. He has to pause in there for a second. Oh,
sucks, and I hate him. We're going to do something fun. I want you to pick a number between 50 and 300. Whatever number you pick, I'm going to look at the list and I'm going to pick the closest anime to that number.
Oh.
And that's what we're going to do for the next episode. So you pick the number and then cue me up.
Well, listeners, looks like our milk supply is now run dry, so it's time for us to say goodbye. And in 2 weeks, we'll be watching
Robotech, suggested via Twitter by Love for the Cup and via Discord by Black Rain. I vaguely think I remember Robotech, but I don't know. But I'm excited. I do know the name the name is very familiar.
I'm not sure if I've seen any Robotech or if I'm thinking of Mech Warrior when I think of Robotech. But Mech Warrior,
I don't know.
I don't think is an anime. Robotech is. There's so many robot animes that I get confused. I could be even thinking of Gundam. It's all mixed up in my head.
Dude, we need some more Gundam in our lives too, but I think Robotech will satisfy it for now.
Yeah.
So very excited for that.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. Once again, I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
And we'll see you next Saturday.
Presented by Nerdsloth.
A place for lazy nerds.
If you like what you heard, consider donating at patreon.com/nerdsloth so we can continue bringing you quality shows. Be sure to also leave us a review and share your favorite episodes and clips on social media. If you're looking for more content, visit us at nerdsloth.com.